campus has been a controversial issue this year. Kathy and I talked to some people about their opinions of closed campus.
We are going to have a major change in the lunch situation at our high school next year, and the Marriott Corporation will be joining our staff in a support role and basically handling the lunch programs for the entire school district.
Yeah, closing the campus to freshmen did help. They're here, we know where they are and what they're doing for the most part.
There are certainly good arguments for closing the campus. There's a concern on the part of parents and educators that there's always a possibility of some unfortunate things happening when students are off campus at lunch. So
that's just a sample of some of the things you'll be seeing on Wednesday during lunch. So don't forget to watch Closed Campus, The Possibility. In the past 2 years, many changes have been occurring at the high school. This is the first year for the campus to be closed for freshmen during lunch. The case for and against closed campus includes the safety factor, the limited eating space, the responsibility of leaving, and having more unity in classes. Even though everyone has a reason for their beliefs, I talked to several people concerned and got their opinions of closed campus.
I support closed campus for freshmen. I, as the record indicates, do not support it for the other young people. I feel like that is something that should be between those young people and their parent, and I feel like that if parents want their young people to remain on campus, that they themselves should insist upon that happening, and we in turn will work with them and provide a lunch program for those young people that choose to stay. As far as the school saying that young people have to stay on campus, I don't think that's our place. And I think that if we truly are trying to turn out a mature group of young people that can accept responsibilities, we have to work toward giving them responsibility instead of taking them away.
Do you think the campus should be closed totally?
Yeah, I believe that it should be. It'd just be a lot safer environment. We could control it better by having everybody stay in the building during lunch. Once everybody starts leaving, then you have problems of them not being supervised. Not to say everybody needs to be supervised, but some people do.
Do you personally support closed campus?
Yes, I do. If for no other reason than the safety factor. You take your life in your hands if you're in the parking lot at 12:30. Kids leave campus, and granted, some of them do go home for lunch right here in town. Some of them stay here in town and, go to the eating establishments here, but so many more of them don't. And they're driving to Pearland, they're driving to League City, and driving there, eating, and trying to get back all in an hour creates some problems. And we've been very fortunate and very lucky. We've had no more accidents than what we've had. But the question you have to ask yourself, when's that luck going to run out?
One, am I happy with the closing of the campus to freshmen? Yes, I am.
Do you think the campus should be closed?
Well, just like other parents and educators in the school district, I have mixed feelings about that subject. There are certainly good arguments for closing the campus. There's a concern on the part of parents and educators that there's always a possibility of some unfortunate things happening when students are off campus at lunch, such as car wrecks or students getting involved in things that they're not supposed to be, drugs, alcohol, whatever. But I also feel that as a parent and as a former campus administrator out there at the high school, that there are some advantages to letting students leave at lunch. I feel like that, particularly now with House Bill 72 and the restraints that students have on them as far as not being able to have auditorium programs and those kinds of things, that the free lunch helps break up the school day. I've had a lot of confidence in our students over the years that they apply themselves very well in the classroom, and so I think it works well from both the students' standpoint and the teachers as far as taking an hour break in the middle of the day. There's just something to be said for the time that it allows teachers to get together all at one time if they need to plan or do something together, faculty meetings, whatever. Also think it allows students the opportunity to socialize some. I do, however, feel that it's a good thing to close the campus to freshmen. Not necessarily as looking at it as a penalty for being a freshman, but I think there's a strong case can be made for the fact that they're new to the campus, and I think it generally takes about a year for a new student to learn their way around, and they're not driving at that point, which means they'd have to get in a car with older students, and I think it's a good idea that freshmen do have, or that they're limited to the campus their freshman year.
How do you feel about closed campus?
I have real mixed emotions about it. I definitely feel like it should be closed for freshmen. There's no doubt about it, because they don't have cars. They do have hitch rides, and you never know who they're with or where they're going. Juniors and seniors, I think, should probably be allowed to go out to lunch. I think if for some reason they chose to let all the children go out, they need to have more than one lunchtime, because it's too crowded, the restaurants are too crowded, and they're hurrying too fast to get back, and it causes them to speed.
I didn't like it this year. I think we should have had the opportunity to be able to go out. It was okay, but we should have been able to have the opportunity, because I know I could have had chances to go out with people and do things and go out to lunch. I know people say freshmen can't drive and stuff, but we could have had opportunities to go out.
How do you feel about closed campus?
Well, I think it's stupid because I think that freshmen should have the same rights that all the other in the high school do.
Have you found many freshmen leaving the campus?
At the beginning of the year we did. Now I'm staying out in the parking lot a lot more at lunch, and I hadn't really caught very many here in the last month, but at the beginning we did have a problem with them.
It looks like a monumental effort. There was actually a group who studied this in detail, where they sat at the high school campus and counted the number of cars that exit the campus at lunchtime. They counted the number of people in the cars for 1 week, and we average about 375 cars which exit the campus in 8 minutes. Now, how could a single individual in a single automobile ever monitor that sufficiently? They can't. It's physically impossible. So what are we talking about? I mean, I think we're talking about an impossibility to do it properly, whereas with a closed campus, you automatically are regulating that. You know, if you're monitoring seniors and whatnot, you're automatically regulating that, probably to the nth degree.
Have you ever left campus during lunch, or ever known anyone to have? I haven't personally, but I have known people that have.
Have they gotten caught?
Not that I know of, no.
In 1986, 306 accidents occurred in Friendswood, as compared to 1985, when the total was 263. In 1986, the total of accidents on weekdays from 11 to 2 o'clock was 26, 8 of those being in the area of the high school, 7 involving persons from 16 to 19 years of age.
I wish that they'd do something about their driving habits. It concerns us all when students or anybody speeds, and the liability is there of an accident.
The only thing is if they, I think, once again, I think I've said this before, because there are so many children going out to lunch, I think that it would be nice if you could have more than one lunch period so that restaurants would not be so crowded and you'd have a little more time to eat and you wouldn't have to rush getting back. I know that makes it hard on the teachers because if they're allowed to leave the building too. But depending on the numbers of children who are allowed to leave the building, that's the main thing.
When I was there, we had a split lunch, which worked well in some respects as far as cutting down on the traffic and the number of students leaving at one time, as well as the number of students that could be served more promptly in the eating areas. However, I like the idea of the present situation where they have one lunch. It gives all the students an opportunity to be off at the same time. Like I mentioned before, it gives the teachers a great opportunity to meet either in small groups or large groups or whatever, as well as students being able to socialize a little bit, relax a little bit. And the biggest thing I think or the biggest advantage I see in the one lunch period is there was always a problem with the split lunch, especially in that science area and the classes that were disrupted by the noise in the hallways and things. So that's I think been a good move.
Yes, we are going to have a major change in the lunch situation at our high school next year, and the Marriott Corporation will be joining our staff in a support role and basically handling the lunch programs for the entire school district. And I think we're going to see some major changes, or at least they have told us that we are going to see some major changes in the presentation of the food to the young people. They have a concept that's basically a multi-snack bar approach, and whereby they will have 5 different stations that will be featuring and highlighting different types of food in each station. One may be Mexican food, and one may be salads and soups, and one may be sandwiches of different types. And I think we're going to see some better things happen for our students and the lunch program here. More choices, hopefully more quality, and definitely a greater variety to choose from.
Even though the reasons for having or not having closed campus are varied, it probably always will remain a possibility. However, the decision is not in the hands of the students, it's in the hands of the administration. This has been Kathy Payne, MCS News.